From the PSIA-AASI Satellite Studios in Portland, Oregon, I'm George Thomas. This is the third in our series of Finding Our Why, and really excited today to be visiting with Kathy Mogensen, who's joining us. And Kathy, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Thanks very much.
That's you first heard about this, I think, through some posts that PSIA put up on social media. And Andy Stein reached out to you. And what was it about this topic that kind of generated your interest?
Um, they asked, what's my why? Why do I teach? And it just really hit home. Um, I teach and my husband teaches. We raised our kids skiing. We became a ski family, and we want to share that with other people. I just really want other people to become ski families. It's been since my kids were 3, we've skied together.
And is that the way you were raised? Were you brought up as a skier?
Never. My parents did not ski. In 7th grade, I joined ski club. I had rental skis. My parents gave me 50 cents for hot chocolate. If I wanted anything more, I could buy it. And I skied ski club through junior high and high school. And then in college, we had an amazing ski club at the University of Buffalo. They ran multiple trips. We could, it was under $200, and we could ski 6 days a week, 3 of them with bus transportation.
Now, I
So,
want to back up just a little bit because you started at 7th grade. Nobody in your family was skiing. What was it about skiing that really grabbed you at that time?
um, it was something I could do with a couple of friends. And there were 2 guys that I was in band with that skied, whose dad skied, and he took us. He'd load up the van. It was a Ford van. They had switched the number or the letters to become Dorf. They put a ski rack on top, an enclosed wood ski rack, and we skied. So it was ski club, and then through them that we got into it. And I found out years later that the chaperone for our junior high ski club was the mother of my eventual ski school director. So this,
Wow.
yeah, so she essentially changed my life. And then passing it down, skiing with my husband, getting him skiing, and our kids and our families. And then her daughter was my ski school director for a lot of years. So it's
So
just a big circle.
at what point did you feel like I don't want to just slide on snow. I want to teach others how to do this?
I never made a conscious decision to
You
teach. It
didn't?
was totally by accident. My son loved to ski. We are at a little area just south of Buffalo, 1 chairlift, 1 rope tow. And we skied there every Friday night with a group of families from their school. 4 tickets for $36, unless you had a ski club, and then it was cheaper. So we did that every
Thank
Friday.
goodness there were cheaper options.
Yeah. So we did that every Friday for years. Most of the family, parents didn't ski. My son was in love with skiing. He started teaching at 15, got my husband into it. And I happened to be standing at the bottom of the hill on Girl Scout Sunday when they were inundated with never ever skiers. And the ski school director handed me a jacket and said, "Here's your group." That was it.
And that's how you started. What was that? Can you still remember that first lesson and how that went?
Um, we were teaching stations. So it was just basically, okay, let's shuffle on skis, let's sidestep. It was controlled chaos.
So
And
you
that's
didn't
just
have this moment right then of, oh, I'm going to become an instructor.
nope. Just kind of fell into it and then really started to enjoy it. It was a very low-key atmosphere. Um, mostly families that weren't ski families, and a family atmosphere. The ski area was owned by a ENT oncology surgeon, and he said he didn't spend money on race cars. He didn't spend money on private planes. He spent money on a ski area because he wanted people to learn. He and his son cut some of the trails, um, built a little Quonset hut at the bottom, essentially. French fries were $1. And I mean, I skied with this guy many times. He loved to ski and he wanted to share it with everybody else, and he did.
And how long ago was this? You fell into teaching, you stayed with it, obviously.
I
And how long have you been teaching now?
I just got my 20-year pin last year. So 2004 was our 20-year pin. The three of us actually did our level 1 together. My husband, my son, and myself. We were at Okemo. You did like, it was a 2-day event. One day they kind of went through everything with you. The second day was the very easy exam, and we got our certification.
And what was that like going through with your family? I took my freestyle specialist with my daughter and had a blast.
Um, at that point, I was just still kind of along for the ride. My husband and my son were into it. I enjoyed it. Just in my own brain, I never thought of myself as a ski instructor. And then I just kindly, I got into it, enjoyed it more and more.
What is it still? The reason you started was you wanted others to be skiing. Is that why you stayed with it? Is that really your primary motivation to continue teaching?
It's a huge part of it. I teach, that area unfortunately closed when the doctor died. We moved down the road to a little bit bigger area. I think they have 6 chairlifts, but it's only 550-foot vertical. But they had a much more organized lesson program. Our advantage is that we're open at night. And when I started on Friday evenings, we would have school groups come down and we might have 300 plus kids on Friday evening for lessons, just piling off the buses. And that's when I really got into it. We just have the same groups year after year. Some of the advisors got to know my husband and myself and would steer kids towards us. I would start the kids, usually the never-evers, get them up the lift, get their feet under them. The next year, my husband would take over and get them moving faster.
Hey there, just dropping in. If you believe in great instruction and education, consider a donation to the PSIA-AASI Education Foundation. Your donation helps fellow instructors access training and education. Give today by dropping down the About tab on thesnowpros.org.
So you're not doing this to build a private clientele and have people who come back and see you every winter. You're out teaching the masses.
Yes and no. We had the same groups, the same kids come back sometimes 3-4 years. I mean, if they started ski club in 6th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, we had another school that started in 5th. So we'd see some of the same kids and parents for up to 4 years. Many of the kids that I taught are now instructors at our area. There's 3 young girls that I taught. Their mom was a professional and she got the kids out every weekend, 3 girls every weekend, dressed somehow out of the car with their equipment on. I taught the 2 older ones when they were already on the chairlift. The youngest, I called Princess. She refused to turn. She was on the bunny hill, I don't know how many weeks. Finally had to get stick-on jewels to put on her helmet. Every time she made a turn, she got a jewel. She is now one of our best kids instructors. So another young one that I taught, never ever didn't want to turn. And her grandfather was actually our first ski school director that threw me the jacket. I taught her as a never ever. She ended up in Killington training, and then in Park City for aerials.
Wow.
So, and then we get school, other school groups where I'll see the kids, even if it's just 8 weeks in a row. It's really rewarding to see kids from inner city that some of them may not have ski pants. 50% come out with their boots on the wrong feet. At least 30% fall down the stairs coming out of the rental shop. And then you get them turning and then getting up the chairlift. And it's just so cool for these kids, and they're so proud of themselves. I had one group, and I very often would end up with, a couple of my good kids would move up, a couple more of my good kids would move up, and I'd stay with the stragglers. And might be the fourth or fifth evening, this one group, I told them, next week, get your runs on the bunny hill quick, get warmed up, we're going up the chairlift. That night came, it was freezing rain, it was drizzle. All 13 of my kids showed up. We went up the chair, we got them down, they never noticed the freezing rain. They were just so excited to do it. So that's the joy of teaching to me.
How about yourself? How do you have any extra time to spend on training, and are you looking at where do you see yourself as an instructor 20 years from now? Because I want to see you get your 40-year pin.
Yeah, I'm 66 now. If I'm teaching at 86, that would be absolutely wonderful. Even when I worked full time, I've always had Tuesdays off on my schedule. When my kids were little, that's when I took them. They started at 3. At age 4, we were pretty much independent on the chairlift with them. And Tuesdays have just always been my day to ski for play, for fun. It still is. I taught Sundays and 2 other nights a week. So I've always been out on the snow a good amount of hours, and especially being able to teach at night. Training our resort, and again, back to my old ski school director, was adamant that she provide training for us. And she paid a trainer. It's a small little area. She had one of our very good level 3 instructors as a trainer, and it was open to anybody for free. And if you were going for level 1, again, it was provided. Probably 75% of our instructors are level 1. Anybody starting, they're getting them the training right away. The training's free. We have mandatory training each year. Level 1, I have to take 3 hours of paid training. New instructors and non-certified have to take 6 hours of paid training every year. So, and then I don't know what the right term is, but I'm an unending student, an unending learner. And we have some
You're a lifelong learner.
Lifelong learner. There you go. There's the word. I've done some wonderful clinics. Murmur Blakesley, years and years ago, did one of her clinics at Wyndham. I have her book, The Ike Zone. She signed it initially years ago. She came to Kissing Bridge with us and did a women's clinic for our area a few years ago and signed it again. But she was a huge influence because I've always been afraid. I've always been fearful of the next step, the steep slope, whatever. And she really helped. And I share that in my teaching. One of my favorite clients is moms who are taking skiing to keep up with their kids and their husband, who get tired of staying in the lodge. Never been on skis, never thought they'd be on skis. They're almost all terrified. And my approach is telling them, you don't like being out of control. I'm going to give you the tools to be in control. That's going to help your fear. And you're going to go from there. It connects with a lot of people. You know, it seems to help them. At the same time, my husband's a level 2. A lot of the people that I ski with are level 2s. They're always pushing me. I go to clinics as much as I can. I have to do a shout out to Alex Smith. I did a clinic with her at Whiteface 2 years ago. She was incredibly good at working through that fear with me, and I probably had the 2 best runs of my life from the top of Whiteface on a hill that I was really, really anxious about coming down the first time. So the fear, conquering the fear, transferring that to daily life is a part of it, and helping other people. And depending on the person and their background, I'll talk about the fear. You know, if you did this and you worked through this, look what you did. Let's carry that over to the next time that you're really anxious about something, because you can do it. So that's a part of it for me.
Kathy, it's been incredible visiting with you. I hope you have a wonderful season. What are you most looking forward to this season?
Getting back on snow, we have a very, very diverse group of instructors, ages 15 to 80 and older. We just went to a birthday party, the 80th birthday party for one of our snowboard instructors. Yeah. I teach with people that have taught for 40 years. All backgrounds, all ages, and the equalizer is you want to teach skiing. It's there really are no egos in the group. It's shared. We're just out there because we enjoy it. So being with that group, we kayak and bike during the summer, but being in that group in the locker room is just priceless.
Kathy, it's been wonderful visiting with you. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us on First Chair.
Thank you. It's really nice meeting with you, and good luck with your running and endeavors.
Thank you so much. From the PSIA-AASI Satellite Studios in Portland, Oregon, I'm George Thomas.